The UK economy is said to be heading for a rocky final quarter of the year after a string of weak indicators last week prompted the Bank of England to halt its quickest monetary tightening in 3 decades. How will that affect trade ties with Manila? And we'll get a rundown of the legislative measures supported by British investors. BCCP's Chris Nelson joins us live from London, I imagine. Are you joining us from London, Chris? Or Portugal?
I'm in Portugal currently.
All right. Chris, always good to see you. Thank you for making time. Welcome back to Market Edge.
Very nice to be back, and welcome to back on your program.
All right, Chris, I want to start with a big picture here. Recession warnings are flashing, not just for the Philippines, but for the UK. Your economy, you've got a survey of purchasing managers pointing towards a contraction and a potential jump in unemployment for Britain. How do you think will this impact trade and investment appetite of UK investors in markets like the Philippines? I mean, with this kind of backdrop, do you think we can sustain the 32% growth in total trade and investments between our two countries that we saw in the previous year?
Yes, I think we do, actually. So first of all, to start off with a highlight, Unilever, one of our platinum members, just opened a new factory with an investment of 4.7 billion in General Trias Cavite. President Marcos inaugurated that factory on Friday, and that looks to show, the Unilever's commitment to the Philippines, and that will also provide jobs and employment. And actually, I believe it's Unilever's 13th largest manufacturing facility across the world. So that alone is a great statement. And I do think trade in UK trade is sustainable. Let's not forget we launched on the 7th of June the developing countries tariff scheme. We've also got intentions by the UK government, the Philippines has noted on that, was our ambassador, is to move to what they call a joint economic trade committee, which is further reinforcing relations. So it's true and it's correct that the UK economy is showing pressure. Of course, the Bank of England, as you rightly said, halted rates. However, the focus on places such as the Philippines, and particularly the Philippines has ratified RCEP, and there's opportunities for it to go into CPTPP, I think gives a great opportunity. And we're going to continue to see UK trade in the Philippines to be at a high level.
So you think the new investment by Unilever is not an exception, but is more a norm among UK investors?
Well, I mean, obviously, it's a very substantial investment. So obviously, and all congratulations to Unilever. But I do think it represents that UK companies, and obviously Unilever, as I said, it's a major UK corporation and it's one of our key members. But I do think the interest level in the Philippines is very substantial. I mean, we've discussed many times, of course, here how pork and food exports have continued to grow. And we strongly support that. That helps both food supply, food security, and also combat inflation. And linked to that, I just want to make a note of the priority bills, and all congratulations. I think they're managing those. And one of those, of course, is the Anti-Agricultural Smuggling Act. I think in the Senate it's going to be called the Economic Sabotage Act. We're very hopeful that's been noted as a priority bill. And that will also support the agricultural sector, which we're seeing a lot of interest in.
I know that, Chris, aside from the Anti-Agricultural Smuggling Act, you're also pushing and supporting for the extension of Executive Order Number 10, which lowered the tariffs on certain commodities like pork and rice. This is supposed to expire next year, right? But you guys want it to be extended.
Well, actually, it's currently under review. It's actually been, that review has been initiated by the Department of Finance. Also, NEDA is involved. What we're saying is we want to see the extension of those lowered tariffs. We've seen substantial growth in British pork, which both helps, obviously, the Philippines, because obviously we know that the pickers have been adversely affected by the African swine flu. And then, of course, helps with inflation. And we strongly support that view. And I think that's also supported by other groups. And in that context, the business partner I work for, the Agricultural Horticultural Development Board, we're looking to do another event here at the end of the year, and looking forward to another potential trade mission similar to the one that we had in 2022. So that shows you that we're looking here to build long-term relations with the importers and also support the Philippine market.
All right, long term. Everything is long term here between the UK and the Philippines. I wonder, aside from agriculture, aside from pork, are there any other sectors that you consider or that your businessman considers low hanging fruits for potential collaboration with the Philippines? I know renewable energy is a hot topic.
It is indeed, and I was going to come to that. Renewable energy is a hot topic. It's a key focus. As noted by our Ambassador Lord Beaufils, there is actually $4 billion potential export finance. One of the areas of focus is renewable energy and on infrastructure. I just like to stress that we're very keen on the drive to invest in the digital infrastructure. I think I'd like to just mention, I think there's a thing called Philippine Tech Advocates, which obviously they're going to be Philippine Tech Week coming up. And I think these are the activities that we will support. And the UK will help and assist the Philippines, and it's also its drive to become an even more green economy. So yes, those are areas, and I just like to bring up, of course, that we're going to have again the Great British Festival
Without the Spice Girls still.
Maybe a covered band or recording. I'm sorry we can't get that together for you. That's beyond our aim, I'm afraid. But the Great British Festival will take place on the 27th, 28th of January. It was a great success. It was March this year. We had over 38 companies. We're obviously looking for a larger activity. And that will obviously herald highlighting major companies such as Standard Chartered, Pru Life. These are our key members, HSBC, but also extending beyond that into companies that do a lot of work, and we look at food, alcohol product, food, beverage products, and also some of the companies that are doing work in key areas such as cybersecurity. CyberQ is one of our key companies now. So all this will be happening in next year, 27th, 28th. We will have obviously music and culture, but I'm sorry to say we can't bring you the Spice Girls.
Forgiven. But okay, Chris, we don't have much time. Final question. I think you know my question. Maybe you can just give me your answer. You know
Which is on
question.
the FTA?
Yeah. Any development on that front?
That's why they're looking forward to move to a joint economic trade committee. That will enhance relations. And obviously, we know that Secretary Pasquale has expressed a desire for free trade. But I think the JETCO, as it's called, is a very significant move in development and will increase, again, UK trade to another high level.
All right. Looking forward to that. Chris, always a pleasure to speak with you. Thank you so much for joining us all the way from Portugal. See you soon.
Take care, and thank you very much. Have a great day, everybody, and your viewers.
All right. Now, before we go,